Quite an interesting trading session today. While we started off with most of the world still on holiday, but the US futures were indicating a flat start and actually was a weak start for us. We were well sub the 17K mark in trade today with all that was happening around RBL Bank with Vishwavir Ahuja actually stepping down, a new interim CEO in place, and then of course the clarification coming in from the RBI stating that all is well with RBL, and the clarification really is something that the markets were seeking. Having said that, what transpired today earlier on was the panic was really setting in. A lot of question marks being raised about why this move by the central bank and whether it's going to spell bad news for the rest of the banking pack as well. So a sharp downtick for the rest of the private banking names as well. So everything from an HDFC Bank to an IndusInd Bank to an Kotak to an ICICI Bank, smaller ones like AU Small Finance, a Bandhan Bank, they were all the ones which were really taking a beating. And then of course post the RBI clarification coming in once again mid-afternoon, you did see a fair amount of recovery pull in. So while RBL Bank still closed pretty much around the session lows, in excess of 18% was the kind of cut that you saw on the stock price. IndusInd Bank recovered from the session lows just mildly in the negative. Bandhan Bank, AU Small Finance Bank still closed in sharply lower, but a solid recovery for a Kotak Bank which held out by 1.5%. ICICI Bank, SBI, Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, they all managed to pull through. As was the case with pharmaceuticals, there was the leading pocket of strength from the word go today. So Cipla, DRL, Sun Pharma, these were all names which were holding out very smartly. Granules as well, which looked pretty good. Some of the technology names like a TechM as well was giving the market the due support from amidst the large gaps, was holding up in excess of 3.5% today, almost a 4% gain coming in there. And then of course you had an M&M and Tata Motors along with the Titan and SBI, which also were looking very, very strong. Good amount of recovery coming in for the broader end of the market as well. What started off acutely in favor of the declines finally changed hands, and you saw a simultaneous recovery amidst the large as well as the mid-cap basket. So 132 stocks finally went home as winners, with just about 58 to the declining side. So while RBL, Z, UBL, IGL, JK Cement were still laggards, good recovery for GMR Infrastructure, which held out by 8%. There was a Naveen Fluorine, Shriram Transport, Dixon and Granules, like I earlier mentioned. They were all gainers in today's trading session. That said, couple of other newsmakers as well is what you had. Barring RBL, there was Lupin, which got an FDA nod for Renwell's generic. So that was one stock which was holding out very well. HP Adhesives got listed today. PI Industries, wherein the MD and CEO resigned, that was another stock which was in focus. That said, the market texture, although it was very choppy today, but one shouldn't read too much into it, given that volumes this entire week are going to thin down a lot more, and more so when we approach closer to the new year over the weekend. Pretty much all the globe is on holiday. So yes, even these bouts of volatility that you are seeing are going to come in on the back of extremely thin volume.